America, this is
the fastest 2 hours in radio.
I think we really need like an intellectual revolution.
Now, of course, this is not so much a show as it is a special event.
The Morning Edge with Fox 2's Vic Faust.
We need to have a little talk here.
Chris Knight.
Hang on.
And Eric Johnson.
The more bizarre he gets,
the more people like him.
A complex mechanism that in itself must be operated by an even more complex entity, you.
The Morning Edge starts now.
Hey guys, welcome to the show. Happy Friday. It is a free-for-all Friday. June 3rd is our time. You've come into the Edge. 8:02 is our time. Let's have a good time today. Although there's a lot of serious to talk about, there's fun to talk about as well. That's what we enjoy coming in with you guys. Love it when you share the show. 100.7 The Viper. That's how we get to talk. You can jump in on the Facebook line. Let us know what you want to talk about. Give us your opinions. All opinions are welcome, even if they're stupid.
Even if they're stupid.
Even if they're stupid. And we are the judge, jury, and executioner. We'll tell you if you're... Don't worry, if you're wondering if your comment is stupid or off-based or biased, we'll let you know. Because we're awesome here. Chris Knight is here. Crystal Cooper, I'm Vic Faust to Fox 2. Crystal's wearing her green today. I never knew that you were such a huge Celtics fan. You're wearing green because of the Celtics,
yes.
Right?
Uh-huh.
That's the whole reason.
And it's Al Horford's birthday today.
Oh, dear God. Oh, dear God.
Who?
Al Horford.
What
Who's
I
that?
know about him, I do like
Celtic.
of him.
Oh.
He's a player. He's an old guy.
Old guy? You
he-
better be nice.
Al Hofer?
He's not being mean.
He's my age.
You're an old woman then.
But
No.
she's younger than both of
Yeah.
us.
Meaning for the NBA. When
All
you're
right.
when
I
you've
get
been
it.
when you've been in the
He's
NBA
been in.
16 years, 17 years, whatever, there's a lot of miles, a lot of tread worn off those tires, so to speak. There was nothing disrespectful calling him an old guy. He had
I
a
know.
great game. He played great, but I never realized you were such a
Oh,
huge
shoot.
basketball
Now
fan.
everyone's going to know my age later when I say.
And joining us today, Crystal Cooper, the old woman.
Right.
No, we used to have an old woman. Don't worry.
Don't look at me.
Anyway, we appreciate it. Yeah, surprised. Jason Tatum didn't have the best game, St. Louisan, but he did enough to help his team win. I still think Golden State wins that series somehow, some way. I don't know. I do, but whatever. Who cares? We'll see. We'll see. But you're wearing your green for them. The Cardinals lost. I just had a feeling. I wish if I was a gambler, I knew they were going to lose yesterday because they were coming off a sweep of the Padres, going to Chicago.
I know.
They're pitching a rookie, a kid making his third start. I was
Yep.
like, this is not in that little Cracker Jack Park. And if you haven't realized yet, Wrigley Field sucks. I don't care if the environment's cool. The field sucks. You pop one up and it can be out. You learn how to play it. It's just a joke of a field, but whatever.
And I
It's
thought
Chicago.
maybe
Chicago's kind of a joke.
I thought maybe the wind was going yesterday when they hit their home run, but then when we weren't doing anything, that wasn't the problem.
But it's a big weekend around the St. Louis area if people are in town, too. I mean, you can't get to the Enjoy Illinois 300 first NASCAR event. St. Louis, how about that on Sunday?
you
Monster do. I don't know what I'm doing yet this weekend. I have to work tonight. I'll be out doing live hits from the Worldwide Technology Raceway today.
Oh, fun.
Yeah, I'll be over there at 4, 5, and 6, and I don't know, maybe later tonight. It's
So
not
Mandy's
always
going to
fun.
be with you?
Mandy is off on Fridays.
That's right. She is. So you're flying solo?
I might have our sports guy with me. Daniel, I'll have to show him the ropes. He's got a lot of energy, but he reminds me of my son when he was like 8 years old. He just kind of runs all around with a lot of energy. He's like, hey, come here a little bit. Kind of like Eric. Oh, no, I promise you. The sky is red. Because I know NASA did a study. Anyway, so is that a good Eric?
I mean, I love the effort.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you. I hate you.
Now back to COVID.
No.
You're crazy.
You're crazy. Anyway, so we'll be out there doing it, but that's a big weekend. Such a monster situation that they put together to sell it out, 56,000 strong in St. Louis. Curtis Francois is a guy to go into business with because that's all he knows how to do. Hey, Andy, because I'm feeling kind of prickly this morning because I'm tired again.
Andy?
Screw you, Andy. Go Cubbies. Screw you, Andy. How do you even pronounce that name? What kind of a name is that?
Look, I don't know.
So anyway, we'll do that. We got a lot to get into. One of the topics too. Drew Collins says, "I can't believe you guys fell for the lies Lewis Reed was telling you on this very show. You called him a good guy. Lewis Reed didn't come on the show and tell us lies. So, Drew, I'm sorry. We got to put you in your place this morning, bud. You're out of line. You're just looking to start trouble. We'll get into the Lewis Reed story. Lewis Reed didn't say one lie on this show.
No.
Lewis Reed talked about some political things that were going on that were true with Shar Jones, with how things were going on in the administration. What he is being accused of with the federal indictment, which is very serious, is more of a pay-to-play scheme with not only himself, but current Alderman Jeffrey Boyd and former Alderman John Collins Muhammad. However, you're just looking to start trouble.
Obviously,
And
Drew
we-
did
and
not
Drew-
read
we-
the documents.
Well, yeah. Well,
Because
Drew, I like you, man, but you're talking like an idiot this morning, right
Yeah.
off the bat, trying to start trouble. And you're my friend, but you're a goofball for saying that. And I'm trying to help you out before people lay into you. I know you like it, but Lewis Reed never lied on this show. So if you're going to come out and start telling this show that we allowed somebody to lie to us, we got to put you in your place, dog. So
Right.
we're cutting you down. We're grounding you, and you're in trouble. And we have to treat you like a little child this morning because you come out of the gate talking that crap. That is a story we can get into as well. It's unfortunate because we don't need to see anything happen. Taking bribes. That's what he is accused of doing. I looked at some of the indictment.
Yeah.
It's long. It doesn't look good for
any of them.
for any of them.
No, it doesn't.
All three of them pleaded not guilty. It's just for taking bribes. It reminded me of the Steve Stenger situation.
Yep.
That happened. And they got caught. There was a guy.
Yeah, but this investigation's been going on, since 2018?
At least 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a guy who was going to get busted. And he did get busted. And this was his opportunity to try to cut off some of the sentence.
That's right.
So it's like, I think I could go get some guys for you. And that's what they did. And that's what happened. So, I mean, if you do it, that's what's going to happen. So, in reading the documents, I don't see how they get out of it. I don't. I mean, this is just initial response, but the situation usually, I mean, just because feds investigate you doesn't mean they're right all the time.
No.
But 9 out of 10 times they usually are. Usually.
And 3 indictments.
Yeah, you got bribery and corruption.
Right.
So that's what's going on with the Lewis Reed situation with St. Louis City downtown. Shar Jones immediately came out, started talking.
Well, of course.
If
But
they,
I thought she had COVID.
well, she does, and that leads us into another situation, which is very interesting. And we'll continue to talk about that St. Louis City situation, where it leaves the government, because Lewis Reed was the president of the Board of Aldermen, and he was the one person that could kind of keep Shar Jones, checks and balances are good.
Mm-hmm.
They are good. If you don't have checks and balances, you have a dictatorship. A dictatorship is about ready to take place. And that's not, I'm saying it's bad. It's just he was the one guy that kept Tashara in check of power. Now Tashara's probably, and we'll see who takes that position, but I got a feeling it's going to be somebody that's pro.
So who appoints that position?
I don't know, but I do know that Kara Spencer wants it, I believe. And she's who ran against Tashara Jones, and she and Tashara are friends.
Oh.
So we'll see. Hey, how about this? Earlier, there was supposed to be a debate last night between Sam Page
This is good.
and Jane Duker. And Jane told us 3 days ago, mark my words, something will happen where Sam Page will not show up. That was what she said.
A hunch.
All of a sudden yesterday, Tashara Jones comes out and says, "Oh, I've tested positive for COVID with an antigen test and then a follow-up on a PCR test, but I don't have symptoms. I feel good. But since I was around all of the political officials on Wednesday for the Lufthansa announcement, I'm going to stay in." Well, who was she around on Wednesday? Sam Page. So guess who skipped the debate last night with Jane Duker? Out of an abundance of caution and safety, I am just going to work at home. So there was no debate. They said that they would send a representative.
Huh.
I mean, hey,
He
did
couldn't
Tashara
Zoom call into that?
I don't know. Tashara got COVID at the right perfect time for Sam Page. Now you have to believe her. Then if some conspiracy theory was out there, they'd be like, "Oh, well, Sam and Tashara are in cahoots." That means she would be lying. And I don't know if that's happening. You can't call people liars. But it is interesting that Jane Duker told us, watch, something will happen where he won't be there on Thursday night.
Pretty convenient.
And she called it days in advance. And then all of a sudden, Tashara, who happened to be around him, has COVID.
It's kind of fun.
Do you believe it?
Hell no, I don't believe it.
You think that? So you think
you're
the conspiracy theory's there that Tashara fibbed? I'm not saying that.
I'm not saying that Tashara Jones fibbed. I mean, COVID is running around, but you would have to be very naive to think that this is the only time that Sam Page has been exposed to COVID. He is a doctor, right? Goes to the hospital, does his thing, right?
Yeah.
Goes to county council meetings, goes to grocery stores. He's been out into the public eye with no mask on. Is Tashara Jones the only one he's ever been around that's had COVID?
Exactly. Well, the one that at least became public that we know about.
I mean,
it's just interesting that
what are you supposed to do
this
nowadays?
was predicted. There is nothing.
Oh, okay.
There is no, it's up to you.
Okay.
We already know the CDC is a joke. And because they've been up and down and all around. They've never had consistent talk. And we were talking about this in the newsroom. It's like, so you get to decide what you're doing or not doing if somebody's around you. And I mean, none of it makes sense. Joe Patterson says, why couldn't he have had a debate with his mask on? He used to wear one in his backyard all the time on TV. Great point.
damn right he did.
It certainly appears to the Jane Duker crowd that Sam Page is just looking to duck her because she, quote, knows where all the bodies are buried in St. Louis County. Gordon says you made a great point, Chris. Jeannie says, wait a second. Isn't he vaccinated and boosted? Yes, he is. And so is Tashara Jones. Cindy says she believes that there's a lie going on.
Abe.
And Joe, real quick, said, but she's still going to Reno, though, this weekend.
You know, I want to bring something else up, too, that we're talking about.
We got so
Page.
much to talk about today. We're going to get into it all.
We got to check into this. I seen a story come across the wire late last night, and it has to do with officials running around in our area, in St. Louis City, County, and particularly, with expired tags.
No.
Really? It must have been a different TV station. It wasn't our station.
It was not, but I went and I did some due diligence on it.
Do you know who did it? Which story? If it was 5 or 4?
I think it was 5.
Okay.
I think it was 5. And so I went to do some due diligence on this, and how be damn if they're not right. In fact, the chief of staff for Sam Page is running around on dead tags that are out of state. Out of state plates, and they're expired. Now, he's not the only one. There's some city aldermen that are running around with expired plates too. And the lead to the story was that the police are not doing anything about it. It's been put on hold through the courts that they're not writing tickets for expired plates.
Is this St. Louis City or St. Louis County or both?
Both.
And who makes that decision? That's interesting.
It is interesting.
But don't we have to pay taxes to get our tags? So
that was the
bingo.
Yeah, that was the point to the story.
Great point,
Is that
Crystal.
how can the average public, you're required to pay your personal property tax to be able to go get your tags,
Correct.
Get inspections, and how are these people in positions of power and rolling around on dead tags. And Sam Page's guy, and he's the guy that's running around in out-of-state tags that are dead.
I'm hoping that the people tried who did the story to speak to Sam Page.
I don't know. I'll show it to you on the wire, but I found it very interesting. Speaking of Sam Page.
A real careless comment from the line. They have bigger fish to fry than tags, expired tags. Sorry, Drew.
I guess he missed the point.
Well,
Especially
if you're
for a
about
guy.
I guess he missed the
He
point.
wants to hand out money all the time, but this is how we get the money we hand out.
If you promote lawlessness, that's what you would do.
Exactly.
Gordon, it's about laws and rules for a reason. You follow them. Gordon says because it's a new law in the city that you can't get in trouble for expired tags. I mean,
yeah, they put it on hold. But the point of the story
and people wonder why crime's going up. People wonder why there's mental illness. People wonder it's because we have a lawless society. I mean, look at it. Come on. It's very simple. And it all started with defunding police, making police feel less important, going after police because there were a couple bad apples that happened to go in the variety. And when you break down every incident, there's small and few between itty-bitty incidents. Very, very sad.
But
very,
it's not
very
about
sad.
small fish, right? It's about the fact that, it just went blank.
They need to really check into this because if you think about this and you get down to the nuts and bolts of the story that I just told you, why even have license plates?
Bingo.
Yeah.
If you
it defeats the whole purpose.
It defeats the entire purpose of having a license plate.
So is it because the court system's backed up that they mainly started this decision?
No, the story said that the courts put it on hold. They're not accepting any violations for expired tags. And I don't know. It didn't say anything, blame it on COVID or anything like that.
Gotcha.
It just said that it's been placed on hold for expired tags. But people are concerned, citizens are concerned because people are also not following the rules that are in power.
Well, it's what media decides to cover from a national standpoint. I mean, you've got people thinking, there's been some shootings and it's horrible. And it's horrible if people lose their lives. But every shooting is covered. And then you don't cover all of the people who are purchasing guns and dealing with guns and using them in a lawful manner all across the country. And if you do, once again, it's a small sliver of people that are mentally ill that are using them in the, quote, mass shootings. And, of course, as the president spoke last night, we'll get into all of that coming up as well. Somewhat, we're just hitting on a couple topics, and we'll break it all down. Think about it. Gosh, somebody brings some great points on the line.
I just thought it was interesting.
Jenny's like, I shelled out $2,000 to get my car tagged. That pisses me off.
Right.
Exactly.
That people in the city
if you're in
and
power,
county, if you're in power, if
you're an elected official or even appointed official,
and in this
wouldn't
case
you lead
with
by
Democratic
example?
leader, and in this case with
They're
Democratic
supposed to.
leadership,
Right.
And they're allowing it to get away.
Right.
That's what they said they're upset about.
Yeah, I agree. That's why I
Cindy
wanted-
says, Drew, there's rules and laws for a reason. You don't get to pick and choose and do a cafeteria
Exactly.
way. That's why this country's going to hell in a handbasket, because we don't have the law and order. And you have people who say, no, we don't like that. We want to do this and that. That according to Cindy.
Yeah, it doesn't fit their agenda, so it doesn't apply to them.
Rob says, I have a friend in North County that takes pictures of expired tags and posts them on Facebook. There are so many in North County.
Yep.
Why law-abiding folks should even keep paying, I don't even know.
That's what I was saying about why even have a license plate then? It makes no sense to have a license plate. If
It
it's not
is
going to be
sad.
enforced, then there's no point to have a license plate.
Just because we were giving you some time off the bat, tell that to Lewis Reed about rules. Yeah, exactly. And guess what? And he got busted for it. Or at least he got indicted. He pled not guilty. We'll see where that goes.
Yep.
But they went and got him to try to make an example of him and other people. That's why they need to go after, they being police and prosecutors. And how Sam Page could even allow somebody to even be on a staff still and do that and come to work.
It's crazy.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Because then you're talking about all that preferential treatment, and that's an issue that we have in this country. And now, as Chris brought up in this city and county, I didn't see the story, but I'm not surprised that that's happening. Not one bit. Not one bit.
Let's see here. I just pulled it up. I just want to throw this guy's name out here. So, St. Louis City 9th Ward Alderman Dan Gunther drives a pickup truck with tags that were expired in 2019.
Wow.
St. Louis County Executive Sam Page's Chief of Staff, Cal Harris,
Wow.
drives a car with expired license plates from out of state.
That's the one. How can Sam Page still keep him around? Out of state? I wonder from what year.
I don't know.
And you work in
That's terrible.
government?
That's terrible.
What's this guy's name? Cal Harris?
Cal Harris, C-A-L.
Did
Cal
they try?
Harris.
Did these people try to speak to?
I don't know. Come across the wire late last night, so I wanted to throw that out there this morning. That's kind of crap.
No, I'm glad you did. Because like you said, that's a big difference on, I mean, if you're going to be in charge, you should be not only following the rules, but leading by example.
All right.
Uh,
Did you guys hear about the plane crash this morning?
No.
Or late last night?
No, what plane
No.
crash?
Just up about
yeah.
60 miles from here in
Yeah.
Pike County.
Yeah, I read a little bit of it. What happened? What were the details of it?
I'm not sure. I was reading Fox 2 this morning, and I guess they're still waiting on information. 2 people were pronounced dead from a small plane crash up just north of Troy, Missouri in Pike County.
But planes are still safe.
Well, planes
For
are
the most
safer
part.
than cars.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's for sure.
So much to get. Yeah, we'll see if Elliot Davis gets on that or not. I don't know if we would cover it. I'm not kidding. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Elon Musk says he's going to, Tesla's going to pause hiring. He wants to cut staff by 10%. He also said people need to find new jobs if they don't want to come in and work inside the facility. He's tired of lazy people sitting at home. We'll see where that goes. President Trump's actually endorsed somebody else in Arizona, Blake Masters. That's a very divisive GOP Senate primary. Can't wait to see what happens with that in regards to, does his person get picked? We'll tell you about, we're going to break down the Joe Biden gun stuff and what happened to Congress yesterday. I mean, you've got lawmakers who just say, basically, screw the Supreme Court, screw the Constitution. I mean, it is unbelievable how reckless the comments were yesterday. Immature, reckless. I mean, if you're an American, you should be scared that these are the kind of people that are being elected. It is scary. I mean, we'll also tell you about a new poll from Mediaite regarding what Americans actually say about teachers carrying guns and what half of Democrats want. But the national media may not be telling you that. Well, I know they're not, because I tell you, if you're going to watch news, you should watch local news. Watch Fox 2. These national jokes are a joke. So much to get into.
Enforce it as a second.
We're just getting started. It is The Edge. It's a Friday. Gosh, you guys, jumping on the comment line on Facebook, 100.7 The Viper. So much is there. It's a free-for-all Friday. Let's have fun. Eric Johnson just walked in. Hi, guys.
Man,
I know.
he's all over me today. Isn't
Hey.
he?
Good morning.
Let me do my. Here's my.
Crystal Cooper, Big Faust.
Here's my Big Faust imitation.
Oh, it's bad.
Hi, ladies.
That's not good.
It's great.
It's not even good.
Here comes Vic into Napoli. Hello, ladies.
When's the last
She's
time?
laughing.
When's the last time I was at Napoli?
Doesn't matter.
I don't know, but I want to go
Months.
They
It's
do have
been
really
months.
good
there. I
food,
heard they
though.
have good food.
They do.
They do. It is
I want to
incredible.
go there.
Let me show you
Yeah.
how big my feet are.
It's my favorite Italian. It's my favorite. I do.
was
I
Coming
do
in
have.
hot.
I do have big feet. They're fat. You guys are something
Oh,
else.
God.
It's a Friday. Back with more right after this.
Edge morning traffic. Mostly quiet out there on area roadways this Friday morning, at least in St. Charles County. There is an accident 6440 that has the westbound ramp partially blocked, and a tow truck is on the scene. Volume is heavy 6440 eastbound from Hanley over to Big Bend, and 55 drivers are jammed up in the work zone trying to get into the city. In Lincoln County, no delays this morning on Highway 61 or 79. I'm Fox 2's Molly Rose. That's your Edge morning traffic.
The Edge Morning Show. Back in a moment. Weber Chevrolet has been in business since 1902. No other car dealer in St. Louis of any brand can say that. Nobody sells more Chevrolet, period. Weber Chevrolet is one dealer with 3 roofs. In Missouri at Olive and 270, and in Illinois Metro East, Columbia, and Granite City. All easy to get to, just follow the 270 loop. Also, all online accessible at WeberChevrolet.com. Right now, Weber Chevrolet is open but very thorough in their cleaning, disinfecting, and social distancing rules. And don't forget, Weber Chevrolet service departments are award-winning and second to none. In fact, other dealers send their problems to Weber Chevy to fix. Now during this crisis, Weber Chevrolet has teamed up with Detroit to come up with awesome deals to help people save money and manage their budget. Discounts, incentives, and the ability to not make your payment for up to 4 months. Weber Chevrolet since 1902, WeberChevrolet.com.
Whoa, Greg's up.
He's never up this early.
Hey, guys. Okay, so this is called the Bell Breakfast Box from Taco Bell. Oh, thanks. I can read.
And that's a coffee. Helps you open your eyes.
And that's a breakfast burrito. You can start from either end.
You guys always this condescending in the morning?
Pretty much.
Wake up with the new $5 Bell Breakfast Box, filled with a grande toasted breakfast burrito, hash brown, 2 Cinnabon Delights, and a coffee. At limited participating Taco Bell locations near you during breakfast hours only. Contact local store for prices, hours, and participation, which vary. Tax extra. Drinks excludes freezes.
Kelley Blue Book is the one-stop shop for pricing, fixing, selling, and instant cash offering. Instant Cash Offer is exactly what it sounds like. An official offer to buy or trade your car. Just enter your VIN or license plate, answer a few questions about your car's history, and what kind of condition it's in. In minutes, you'll receive an offer to sell or trade your car that you can be sure is fair. Then choose a dealer to purchase your car and schedule a time to meet. For all of the its, kbb.com.
When it comes to pellet grilling, the true heroes of the hopper savor the process as much as they savor the result. Kingsford 100% hardwood pellets can be used on any pellet grill and add bold, smoky wood flavor to any meal. No preservatives or artificial flavors. Kingsford hardwood pellets keep the temperature consistent for an even heat, so you can cook as low and slow as you want. Kingsford 100% hardwood pellets. Kingsford.com.
So you're not gonna want to miss this. The deals at Kohl's right now are beyond epic. I just got some new bath towels for $3 each. Found the cutest kids' outfits for only $5. And got myself some tees and tank tops for just $7. But the best part? You don't need any coupons. Can earn Kohl's cash and get it all with free store pickup. Looks like April showers bring the flowers and the savings. Select styles. Sale ends April 24th. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Shop in one place, O'Fallon Overhead Doors, for your residential and commercial garage doors and gates. As a locally owned, family-operated business, O'Fallon Overhead Doors provides 5-star service. Their technicians are not paid on commission, so they won't sell you something you don't need. Looking for a new door, a repair, or yearly maintenance? Call O'Fallon Overhead Doors on Continental Drive in Wentzville, 272-2722. Showroom open weekdays 8 till 4:30. Free estimates on new doors. Visit O'FallonOverheadDoors.com.
Please leave a message at the beep.
Hey, it's fun. Remember me? Miss you, buddy. Look, I know it's been a minute, but we gotta get the fam back down to Holiday World and Splash and Safari. They've got 3 of the top 5 water coasters in the world. Remember getting soaked on Mammoth and Cheetah Chase? Or screaming down monster roller coasters like Thunderbird and Voyage? Tickets are still at holidayworld.com. Oh, the kids want to say something. Go ahead.
Here comes more of the Edge Morning Show.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. It is The Edge. We got Eric with us, who thinks he's a funny guy. Chris Knight, Chris Cooper, and Vic Faust of Fox 2. I'm setting up Jane Duker for you, even if it's for 5 minutes, because I know you want to talk.
No, y'all talk policy with her. I don't need to talk about any of that garbage that Sam Page is trying to skirt.
Well, we've already talked policy with her several times.
Oh, there's all kinds of stuff that's come up since then. All kinds of stuff.
Didn't Lewis Reed just do a campaign thing for Jane Duker?
I have no idea.
She's just.
I thought I saw that on Twitter.
You know,
Well,
if I was Sam Page, I'd be faking my death too, because he's just not a candidate as compared to Jane. Jane is just a fantastic candidate. She's one of my favorite people that I've had on the show. She really is, because she literally is a Democrat who's like, yeah, they went a little too far left. She's exactly the person that we talk about on the show all the time.
She'll call us. She's gonna call in just a little bit. We're still talking about what happened with Lewis Reed, Alderman Jeffrey Boyd, and John Muhammad Collins in regards to what appears to be a pay-for-play scheme indicted by the feds, bribery, corruption charges. Last thing the city of St. Louis needs. On top of that, we've got Joe Biden's speech last night regarding guns. Then, on top of that, we've got Congress yesterday holding a hearing on trying to get gun legislation passed. So we are all over the place with everything else. My phone was lighting up last night and this morning with people saying, Vic, if the president truly cared about kids, which is what he was quoted in his speech, this isn't me talking, this is what I was told, why aren't we protecting schools? Because after the Columbine event and after another, I can't remember which other shooting event that happened, the investigations and the studies that were done said we need to protect the schools.
Yeah.
Yet the president said we're not going to protect schools. We're not going to do more at the schools. The whole argument last night is it's all the gun's fault. It's not the person's fault. And that's where we are. And this is where you get Republican versus Democrat. And that's why we seem to be just a crazy, nutty nation of politics when it comes to this.
I would love to get your opinion on what his speech last night. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I did. I wanted more out of it. I just wanted it to be more fair. I'm always about give every side to it.
It was angry.
Yeah.
I mean, give it a grade. It was angry. It was one-sided. It was not thought out.
That's
it was
the problem.
not thought out. You're absolutely right. It didn't address any of the problems of gun control. I mean, it's not about controlling guns. It's suppressing people who are mentally ill. It's about the community telling on people who are mentally ill. And it's about hundreds of millions of American citizens who legally own a gun without any issues.
Right.
I didn't hear any of that in his speech.
No.
None of it. What I heard is that they want to take away magazines, that they want to have background checks. Well, what does that mean? Do you trust your government to put together the parameters of a background check?
It's tough.
You see what I'm saying? Can you imagine getting that
checks.
letter? Can you imagine getting that letter in the mail saying, we do not allow you to buy a gun because of this on a form that you fill out?
It's such a gray area. I'm all for background checks, Eric, but who's putting it together and how can you trust it? Especially with the 99% of Americans who are lawful gun owners, because you have some mental illness cases who are going to, at least in these, you know what? The Democrats, and I'm sorry, I've got to call it out, and Republicans for that matter to some degree, haven't been irate about all the mass shootings that have been happening in the country, in the inner cities, in Chicago, in New York, forever. Never, ever, ever. And nothing's they don't, if you, and about the kids being shot, record highs in St. Louis, yet they're not speaking about that. They're not going public. It's not until you get the public of a grocery store or the public story of a school that do they start to say something.
Yeah.
Then you go to those places, and all of these shootings are happening in, guess where? Gun-free zones where people can't protect. So let's give all the facts. You get all the facts on this show. Facts.
Right. Like
you're not hearing that from a national standpoint, and that's what's sad. And that's what the president did. That's where I was hoping that he could have been a stronger leader and thrown some of those things in there, but we're not. But if you have an agenda, and the Republicans have an agenda, and the Democrats have an agenda.
So you're right. You know what was missing last night? Every time the president goes on camera nationally, there should be a Republican response to that. A Republican could have gone on camera last night. I was available. I did not get a call. They could have gone on camera and said, look, Mr. President, and the bumper sticker campaign is guns don't kill people, people kill people. Okay, that's the bumper sticker campaign. You could have said, we need to harden public schools. We're in control of them. There will be security guards and they will be lockdowns, and that's where we will start. That's the low-hanging fruit. The number two thing is maybe, and I know I'm going to get flack for this, is why don't we take a look at expanding the laws that say kids do not get to just go and willy-nilly buy assault weapons until they're 21.
Well, the president did say that if we can't get some of these other things done, switching that age to 21.
There you go. No background check. It's just let me see your ID. Oh,
Not
look,
18.
You're 19 years old. Can't buy one.
And
there
before,
you go.
and I know it, and we're getting into this where people go, well, there's mature people, then forget about
Absolutely.
your military. They should be able to use them. Just remember that President Trump in February of 2018 was pushing in conference with political leaders to think about we need to switch being able to buy a gun from 18 to 21. Even President Trump said that.
I would agree with that.
And he said, he's like, I know it's unpopular with some of my fellow Republicans, but think about it. Now, so this is, once again, our whole world, this whole country, everything is such a gray area, but that's one commonality that I did see when it comes to Republicans and Democrats, at least when it came to former President Donald Trump.
And I would even have a part of his speech be like,
and I know we got a lot of people on here who love Trump.
I know. There's a lot. I think that, well, check this out. What if he came out and said, you need to protect yourself and your family? I recommend you learn how to use a handgun and protect yourself. What if that was part of his speech? There's some nutty people out there today. Look at the crime in Chicago, St. Louis, Baltimore, Los Angeles, California. What if he came out and said, these DAs are not going to help you out? Why don't you learn how to protect yourself?
Right.
I mean, what if that was part of the speech?
Mm-hmm. You know, the bumper sticker should say, criminals don't use background checks, lawful gun owners do.
Exactly. You know what the deterrent was back in the 1800s for people, why they had guns? Is so that other people wouldn't shoot them.
Right.
They would walk around with a big holstered gun to let people know, you're not going to mess with me. I will take you on. It's a deterrent. There's no deterrence in society anymore.
Gordon says laws against drugs didn't keep drugs off the street either, did they?
No.
Gun laws won't keep guns off the street. That, according to Gordon. Then, of course, you look at the statistics from the states with the highest gun law regarding our cities, New York, Chicago. They've done nothing. And the other problem you have is guns aren't going anywhere off the streets. They're there. And you're going to have some issues. You are. And it's sad. So if they're there, you look at all things. And not once was it brought up yesterday by Biden of protecting schools. Not once. That was the thing where I was like, man, this is our commander in chief, our president. I want him to do well. And he missed the boat because it was an angry speech. And we're all caught up in the emotion and not thinking with intellect when it comes to the whole situation. Because as I've told you before, we as Americans are stupid. We're lazy. We love to be spoon-fed. We look at headlines. We don't break stories down. We don't do deep dives. And our emotions are played on by mass media messages. And it is not a good thing. Yes, it's horrible what happens with shooting. One victim, of course, is horrible. But guess what? You do what you can to protect the whole situation, the greater good of everybody. And you're not thinking about all the responsible people. And then you have leaders like Trudeau saying that a gun is only maybe necessary for hunting with a few bullets and for gaming, didn't even bring up protection. And now you have that thought process kind of seeping down into the United States, going south. It's a little scary, and that's where we are.
Did you hear what Whoopi said?
Oh, no.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I
So
did.
earlier you had talked about we should be saying
Who?
if someone else,
Who?
Whoopi Goldberg.
We don't talk about The View. They're idiots. They're flat out idiots.
Right, but what
It's
I
fine.
mean,
I don't even
I
give,
get it.
They find the most. They don't say anything that's even remotely constructive.
Well, because he had brought up like we should tell on people of mental issues, right? She wants us to tell on people who own AR-15s, and she wants us to lock them up. It's like, so we can't work on the actual problem issue, right?
Yeah.
But yet, she probably isn't for locking up a lot of people for other things. Doesn't make sense.
The liberals can say things like that, and they take no barbs back at them. I cannot figure it out.
It's just because it's a
cannot figure it
liberal
out.
show, so you don't watch it.
I get it.
You
It's a
don't-
liberal show.
You don't give them. That's why I don't bring them up.
Well, nobody does watch it. Did you see their ratings?
Well, that's why you don't give them any power because they're nobodies.
Well, they also-
because all they want is on that show is to stir up trouble.
Yeah.
And people who are trying to just stir up trouble on purpose are people that need less airtime.
And that's why I think this country is never going. I think St. Louis is doomed. I just think that the people of St. Louis have screwed it up so bad that if you don't want that life, If you don't want to live in a city where there's liberals or conservatives, for that matter, you just it's going to be the great
Why
splitting.
you're going after St. Louis again?
I'm sorry, dog. It sucks. And
Okay,
you know
this is about. I know, but we're talking about the gun issues and Biden's
well, the gun
speech.
issues are
We haven't
big.
even gotten to Congress and what was going on there yet.
Well, let me just say this: if you believe that you want to live in a community that has hardened schools, that has complete freedom of speech, that is the land of the free, you're going to have to find those cities and those states and move there. I think that's what's coming. I don't even know if that's a negative thing, to be honest with you.
We have.
I don't think that's negative.
No.
You just move, and maybe you stick a flag right at the entrance of the community.
I'm not
come on,
getting
Vic.
this with you again.
Come on, Vic.
We got Jane calling in, but Roz wants to make a quick point. Roz, we got a quick point. What's up? Roz,
Yes.
let's go. What's up? How are you doing?
Jay Sekulow had Marco Rubio on yesterday, and he told about the two pieces of legislation that he's had actually on the table for 4 years trying to get a vote on that would address this problem, especially of these young men who are showing these mental problems, many of them for several years before they finally go into a school and do a shooting. And he told about if they would start addressing kids who are showing these mental types of problems, and a lot of them coming from backgrounds where either they were abused or gone through some bad things, he said they could stop a lot of this because they would identify these kids early on, try to get them help, but also make sure that they cannot go in and purchase guns and ammunition to do these types of things, but he cannot get this stuff to be voted on.
Well, we appreciate the update, Roz. You never know. There's a lot of things that don't get voted on, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know, but this one, if people would listen to what he's saying,
well, mental
he
health aspect is what you're
has
talking about.
A good idea as a solution to get these kids help, but also keep them from going into our schools and shooting up and killing these other kids.
Thank you for giving us a call and talking to us, Roz. We'll talk to you later. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
It is.
What?
Sorry, go figure. The one Roz calls in and Jane's trying to call.
Oh.
The one freaking time. So that was our error. We kind of keep it organic. The one thing with that, with the whole, did you hear any mental illness talked about last night with the president?
No, it's
That's
an issue.
the problem
It's
I
an
had.
issue, and it's
mental illness is real, and every one of these people who are going in, or most of them, are doing it. So
again,
I
It's
just
one of
wish
those topics that I just wished wouldn't have turned taboo to talk about
you
because
talked
it's
to
so
me.
serious.
Eric, you're number one. See, instead of
I
sitting
remember
on
the
your
day of
wins,
the gun racks and the kids run. I remember the days of the kids coming into school with gun racks in the back of their pickup truck.
Well,
Those days are over. I mean, it's
well,
like,
yeah, they're over.
Well, why?
And they should be over right
with
now.
confused look on my face. Why is
Wait
that
a minute.
over?
Wait a second. You wanted me to get you Jane Duker.
Yes.
I'm waiting for you to move to St. Louis County so you can start
So I can
working for
vote.
her.
I will.
Working for her campaign
Yes.
because right now all you can do is talk about her on radio, and you can't go help her.
I can do whatever I can do.
All right, Jane Duker, good morning. Thanks for joining us. Sorry your debate didn't happen last night. It is interesting that you were wondering if it would happen. I know things happen. I guess pretty frustrated, huh?
It was the weirdest experience ever. So he sent a government staffer, Paul Hampel, a former, Post-Dispatch reporter, to debate in his stead. And it was the weirdest experience I've ever.
So it did
involved
occur
in.
with the assistant, because that's what we reported on news, that he was sending an assistant, but I didn't know that it happened.
Yeah, well, it did, but I mean, I still said I was debating myself because he didn't show. I mean, the bottom line, he was a no-show, and so, which is completely disrespectful to the people there. But there was no way he was going to come, and he refused to give the press or the participants or the audience a reason why he didn't come. I mean, I guess he just didn't want to say that he was afraid.
Well, we did a
And
news.
it was just
We did the news story on it, and we were told. I thought we were told, or at least, unless a producer just created a story, Jane, because I read the darn story. And I was wondering, was that because he came in close contact with Chichara Jones, who tested positive with an antigen test and then backed up by a PCR test, that it was better to be safe than sorry to go out just in case if he had.
No, he was lying.
Okay.
I mean, I'm just going to be very clear because he had already said to the Post-Dispatch that he wasn't coming.
Yeah, I did see that in the article.
So, yeah, so he lied. So blaming COVID. I'd like to say that's a new low for him, but it's not.
It's not. He loves COVID. He's got
That's what
COVID
I said.
statues
Jane,
in his
that's
house.
exactly what I said. I said, it's funny that he cancels and he blames COVID because he's never been around anybody in the past 24 months that's had COVID, ever. So
Sarcasm.
Until there was a debate.
Well, this was held.
Right,
was,
exactly.
was the debate held outside? Was it scheduled to be outside, Jane?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Right off of Laclede Station Road.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was going to be
And it was,
outside.
it was interesting. Yes.
So
and it was 4 Democratic townships that had combined their meeting in order to have this forum.
Love it.
And it also included Britta Days, who's the chair, and her handpicked Sam Page challenger. So three of the 4 of us showed up, and Page did not.
when's the
Lisa
next
Clancy
debate?
was there
Oh,
to support Sam. Yeah.
is that who did? Wait a minute.
It's the township in which her council district
Oh, okay, I
is
got you.
located in.
I got you. That makes sense.
But then Councilwoman Webb was there as well. So it was there were a lot of people there, and it was obviously it was a great idea. He just had no intention of coming.
Wow.
And so I got to debate a staffer, and it was bizarre because he made it completely personal and strange. And because I've known Paul Hampel for years, and he worked for Stenger, and he came out of the box basically saying, I ran county government under Steve Stenger, which I didn't realize I was that powerful, and indicated how, I talked to all the county employees, and I had to point out that I talked to all the county employees because they're just devastated working for Sam Page. They're begging me to hurry up and win because they live in a toxic, horrible working environment. I literally get a whistleblower reach out to me every day from county government because they know I'll do something about it.
When did Sam Page tell the Post-Dispatch, Jane, that he wasn't coming Thursday before the COVID test
it was
with
right
Tashara?
after I took to Twitter and said, this is happening.
It was last week, wasn't it?
I mean, it was, let's see, it would have been, I would think it was
Tuesday?
like maybe Monday or Tuesday.
Yeah,
I'm
it was
starting to
Monday or
lose
Tuesday.
Track of my days. Yeah, it was Monday or Tuesday. And so, I posted the flyer and said, hey, alert, it's going to be the first debate. And then right away he went to the Post-Dispatch and said he wasn't coming and didn't explain why. And then indicated that he would likely send a campaign representative, but he sent a government employee.
Did he send that? Was that government? Let me get this right. Was it the government employee that drives around on expired plates?
No, it wasn't. She already said
No. He's in Germany on the Lufthansa flight.
Maybe okay. We talked about that
You're
this
mixing
morning.
up your employees.
Yes, you know what I'm talking about.
Jane, if you had an employee with expired tags from another state and you were the county executive, would you take care of that?
Yeah, I would take care of it.
Did you hear?
And if you want a high profile position with an elected official,
Right.
you need to have your plates renewed.
So did you
And
hear
you need
about
to,
that?
pay your Missouri taxes.
And
Exactly. Thank you.
exactly. So you know about that story. Why is there no enforcement on these people? I mean, pictures coming out.
There's no enforcement of a lot of laws.
Yeah, but why?
I guess people have determined, and this is part of the reason I'm running, is that County Executive Page, he basically enabled the mayor of St. Louis in not policing. And he joins in. And people in St. Louis County are fed up. Every phone call, every poll, everything I see, everything I hear about is crime is the number one issue. And Page ignores it, the mayor ignores it, and it leaves the St. Louis region completely vulnerable to lawlessness. And so here's my position on the whole issue. If you think that it's inappropriate as a matter of policy to not enforce the license plate registration laws, then you need to go to the legislature and have it repealed. But executives and prosecutors don't have the legal authority to just say, I'm not going to enforce the laws that I swore to uphold when I took office. That simple. And police officers, there's been, obviously we've been spending the last decade talking about policing. And, leaving police officers with discretion on what laws to enforce and what laws not to enforce, I think is a bad thing.
So
these are legislative decisions.
Eric, we got about a minute.
Okay.
Minute and a half. We
Do
gotta
you
get out.
think that the police are in cahoots with this? Because if you do have a tag that's expired, the police find it, you get a ticket or you get summons or whatever it is. Are the police just like looking past these because nothing gets done, and so the entire system doesn't even work around that anymore? And the expired tags, that's just one thing of many. Is that what's going on? You
Correct. These low level quote low level offenses, nuisance offenses. Yes, I think the police are told from leadership that those are not a priority. And and by the way, I mean, most police are worried about murders and shootings and things, and they hop from crime scene to crime scene. So taking their time out in order to do those things, I would imagine, is challenging. But yes, no, it's completely discouraged because people complain. But then when people get hit by cars that aren't insured, because most of the time people don't license their car because they can't pay the sales tax or they can't pay insurance.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, then it leaves people in danger. I mean, there's real consequences. There's reasons why these laws were put on the books. But if you want the policy decision to be made that they shouldn't be enforced, then you need to repeal the law.
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
But telling people that it's okay to ignore laws,
Unbelievable.
it begets lawlessness in a lot larger ways, and we're seeing the effects of that.
And then have your staffers ride around on expired tags.
Correct.
Well,
it makes $130,000, $40,000, $50,000.
Well, it's a good time for him to be on a Lufthansa jet.
Maybe the people.
Well, and I just said, will the press please ask who's paying for all these people's tickets?
I'm telling
Especially
you.
government staffers. Government staffers shouldn't be taking freebies.
No,
without
we should be.
closure.
We should be asking that. We're not doing our job when we don't do that, Jane. And you're 100% right. Hey, thanks for taking some time to join us really quick this morning. Try to have a great weekend.
Great. All right. Call back soon, guys.
Yes, we will.
Hey, Jane Duker, St. Louis County Executive Candidate, did not get to debate Sam Page last night. He sent a staffer.
Unbelievable.
That just sounds funny.
No, it does. Hopefully they'll get some debates. I mean, we can laugh about it all day long.
Maybe
but-
she doesn't need a debate. Did you hear what she just did there? She won my vote
Yeah,
just
but
on
Eric,
that alone.
Eric.
Oh, come
but
on.
you don't have a vote. Let me remind you.
I didn't even get a chance to ask
You're
her
a
what
St. Charles County resident.
I'm a pretty good judge of this stuff. I'm a pretty
It
good
doesn't
judge.
matter. Yeah, but,
Yeah,
you
but
don't got to vote.
Don't you
don't
want a
have vote.
county executive right across the,
We gotta
the
get
river?
outta here. Eric
That's
Johnson.
awesome.
Eric
with
Johnson.
awesome sauce. And it has
Chris Knight.
Yeah.
Crystal
Awesome
Cooper, I'm Big
sauce.
Faust to Fox 2. No, we come back. Just wait until you hear what happened with the Congress debate yesterday, how bad this is getting and where it's going. We'll get into all of that. It's also a good weekend. Locally, we got the race in town, the Enjoy Illinois 300s here in town. We got your news headlines, all kinds of things. We'll get into it. Don't go anywhere. Share the show. 100.7 The Viper on Facebook. You can also stream us at viperrocks.com.
Edge Morning Traffic.
Still overall a quiet morning out there on your Friday drive. If you travel from the 6470 split through St. Charles County on I-70, looks fantastic all the way to the Blanchard Bridge. 6440 drivers, no delays making your way to the Boone Bridge and then through the Chesterfield area. In St. Louis County, that earlier accident westbound 6440 near Hanley has cleared and the ramp has reopened. And 270 westbound is still a slow go in North St. Louis County from road work. I'm Fox 2's Molly Rose. That's your Edge Morning Traffic.
This is the Edge Morning Show.
Live on 100.7.
The Viper.
If you want the best, don't settle for the rest. Come to F&S. F&S Collision Repair provides the best customer service, quality of work, paint color match, and paintless dent repair. They do it all. No job too big or too small. Just what your car or truck ordered. F&S Collision. Call today to schedule your appointment and get that car repaired. F&S Collision Repair.
This part of the show is brought to you by Johnny and Amber. Suddenly, Will and Jada don't seem so nuts.
Hi, this is Conrad Bellman at Bellman's Carnection in St. Peters. Right now, we're buying any pre-owned vehicles. At Bellman Carnection, we will take anything on trade, farm, house, truck, cars, and SUVs. Bring into a Bellman pre-owned car, truck, SUV, or van today. The inventory is always fresh, so hurry in before someone else buys the one you want. Bellman's Carnection in St. Peters at Highway 70 and 370, where you will never pay the max. Online at carnection.com.
Do you want to work for the biggest medical cannabis company in the state of Missouri? Belief Medical is looking for dynamic individuals to join our newest facility in Jonesburg. We are currently hiring for post-harvest technicians and offer 100% company-paid benefits that include medical, dental, and vision, as well as a starting pay of $15 per hour. If you're 21 or older and ready to join a great company that offers great pay and great benefits, visit our website at beliefmedical.com. BELEAF medical.com.
You work from home, and now home can be anywhere you want with an RV from Bill Thomas Camper Sales. RV travel is the ultimate social distancing for your family, and you know what you have with you and where it's been. For 55 years locally, family-owned, Bill Thomas Camper Sales has had the highest quality for every budget, and they have guidelines in place for your safe shopping experience. Travel in comfort and safety with a visit to Bill Thomas Camper Sales in Wentzville. For details, hours, and directions, go to btcamper.com.
Now another hour of the Edge Morning Show on KFNS Troy St. Charles. The Edge Morning Show.
DQ presents. Picture this. You stand before the awe-inspiring new signature stack burger menu at DQ and your mouth wonders, where have you been all my life? That's 5 taste bud tempting cheeseburgers with 100% real seasoned beef. You peek at the loaded A1 stack burger with 2 premium sauces. Then the flamethrower stack burger with tongue-tingling jalapeno bacon. Then you realize moments like these are exactly why we have the DQ signature stack burger menu. DQ. Happy tastes good. Get it delivered at DQ.com.
Get a grip on your finances with People's Bank & Trust's new mobile banking service. You can now manage your accounts, check balances, transfer funds, and pay bills with ease and all from the palm of your hand. Activate your phone today by visiting us online at www.pbtc.net. People's Bank & Trust. Hometown banking the way it should be. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Viper Weather with legendary chief meteorologist Dave Murray.
Hi, this is Viper meteorologist Dave Murray. It's Friday of a short work week for a lot of folks. Sunny skies. It's a little cool out the door this morning, but boy, what a great day. Low humidity, 79 for the high. Tonight, clear skies in the 70s for evening plans, 59 for the low. The weekend, Saturday, mostly sunny, 80. Saturday night, increasing clouds. The evening is fine. Couple of spotty showers and thunderstorms around late Saturday night as we go down to 60. Sunday, partly sunny, a little more unsettled with scattered showers and thunderstorms, but no all-day rain. 82 for Sunday afternoon. From the Viper Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Dave Murray. Now back to the Edge on 100.7, The Viper.
Whipper River Electric, a Touchstone Energy cooperative. The Edge Morning Show.
Local headlines now with Fox 2's Vic Faust.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. 9 o'clock's our time. It's Friday, June 3rd. A former Lindbergh High School teacher was charged yesterday with having sexual contact with a student. Grant Gaumer, 37 years old, faces 2 counts of statutory sodomy in the second degree. sexual contact with a student under the age of 17. Happened this year at Lindbergh High School. He was still a teacher. He had been a teacher there, the assistant water polo coach, and he was also the teacher liaison for the Gay Straight Alliance group at the school. The district confirmed that he no longer works there. Amazon is now being accused of impeding the warehouse collapse probe from federal investigators. We have not heard the end of this, so Amazon dealing with some hot water there. It's a huge NASCAR Cup weekend in the St. Louis area. The Enjoy Illinois 300 is here. Weekend activities all weekend. You can catch me live at the track tonight for Fox 2 News at 456. Maybe tonight. We'll see where it is. That race, by the way, is sold out Sunday. 56,000 strong. Chris, you said you've seen people partying already.
Yeah.
Curtis Francois, the track owner, has been nothing short of amazing since buying that track for literally next to nothing and revamping it. Also, our friends from Bombery Automotive Group Group taking care of business over there as well. By the way, Bubba Wallace has put his car on display for kids in East St. Louis today as well. The feds released phone transcripts after aldermen were indicted. Board Alderman President Lewis Reed, current Alderman Jeffrey Boyd, and former Alderman John Collins Muhammad, all indicted with bribery and corruption. We'll see where that whole thing goes now, where they're all three pleaded not guilty, by the way, as well. And 2 deader after a Missouri plane crash happened. It happened late last night. Chris was talking a little bit about it. Did you know the exact spot, the exact county?
Pike County.
Cardinals lost as well last night to the Cubs. They have 4 more games coming up. Celtics won, and the Avalanche are dominating, of course, 4-0 against Edmonton.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
It's your birthday.
It's your birthday. That's right. I served you cake. I'm Peggy. Pull your leggy.
Happy birthday.
It's your birthday. It's your birthday. It's your birthday. Go.
All right, it's June 3rd. Happy birthday to all the famous people out there. I'm actually currently watching a match of our first birthday. Today, Rafael Nadal is 36 years old. He's playing in the semifinals of the French Open right now. Yeah, so he's up,
Coco Gauff,
5-4.
by the way,
Yes.
18 years old, making the final for the Americans.
It's been awesome watching her. Yeah. So Rafael is Nadal. He is 13 French Opens already, so he's trying to get another one. And then Anderson Cooper, we all know him. He's 55 today. He is who is his grandpa? I'm blanking.
Oh, Cooper.
No, he was a Vanderbilt, right? Or his mom was a Vanderbilt?
Yes. Oh, wait
that's
a
what it
minute.
is.
Yeah, it's his mom.
It's his mom was a Vanderbilt. Today, Jill Biden, actually. We got our first lady's birthday today. She is 71 years old. Ian Hunter, Ian Hunter,
Martha
singer.
Hoople. Martha
Yes.
Hoople.
Yeah, how old do you think he is?
Oh, jeez. 79.
Ooh, close.
Boom!
83.
83.
Yeah, we got another 83-year-old. If anybody's familiar with everything going on with the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Thomas Girardi is actually 83 today. An old man, but that's all right. And then I want to wish a happy, extra special birthday to Al Horford today. He is 36 years old.
And she's all over the Celtics.
He played great last night. What was it, 120 to, I forget.
You're a
what,
former
107?
basketball star, so I guess that makes sense.
More volleyball. But
Well, they got who they playing?
I just enjoy
Golden
sports.
State. They're
Yes, they're
Yes.
playing Golden State.
So it was a great win. Mm-hmm.
How many games is Golden State going to win that in?
4.
7?
7.
4. Yeah. So that's it for our birthdays today. Not very many, but they are special people, and we hope they have a great day. Happy birthday.
Do you know what today is?
Friday, it is National Donut Day.
It is National Donut Day. Again, yes, there are 2.
Donuts. I got donuts.
I love donuts.
Donut.
Donuts. Go nuts.
Donuts!
Whoa, excellent.
Happy National Donut Day.
I offer these delicious donuts.
Happy National Donut Day.
Showtime.
Hey, welcome back to the show. Eric Johnson's here. Chris Knight, Chris Cooper, and Vic Faust of Fox 2. It is The Edge. The fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. Crystal, what do you want to say?
Oh, I was just reading because of the donut thing, right?
National Donut Day.
Uh-huh. Who do you think eats more donuts, America or
cops.
Canada?
Just kidding.
I'd say America.
Most of the cops I know are freaking built and in shape.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe that's the secret.
That's
Let's
right.
all go to Krispy Kreme after this.
Have you seen Chris and I? We're not
Come on.
exactly
You guys are
perfect
Adonises.
specimens. No,
Both you
we
guys are
both love
Adonises.
donuts. Chris, you love donuts, don't you?
Yes, I do.
I'm a chocolate guy and a donut guy.
Yeah.
It's how I can't walk by. I say America eats more donuts.
Eric?
Oh, yeah, America.
What were the
Chris?
choices? America
Canada.
or Canada? Yeah, I would have to say America.
No, it's Canada.
Really?
Yeah, they actually per capita have more donut shops than any other nation on the planet.
Wow.
Who knew?
I know.
Hey,
But it's only Krispy Kreme or nothing.
hey.
So
Krispy Kreme's all right.
It's too much. That's the crack donut.
now
You
we
already know
talked
that.
about this yesterday with pizzas. So let's not go down
I know
this
we
road.
are. It's.
All right.
All right,
telling
so
you right now.
besides Krispy Kreme, who's the other one up top, you think?
Oh, I already tell
Most
you which
sales.
one. I'm going to tell you
Dunkin'.
what's.
It's Dunkin'. It's
Oh,
gotta be
sales? You mean?
Sales.
Dunkin' Donuts.
What
It's
are the
Dunkin'
two most
Donuts.
popular Dunkin' or
I
said
knew it.
It's
Dunkin'
Donuts.
Absolutely.
Yeah, the top two are Krispy Kreme.
When I lived in Michigan, Dunkin' Donuts is not all that popular in the state of Missouri.
No.
However, when
No.
you go to other states and if you travel north, my God, the lines
Yeah.
Yep.
for coffee and donuts
Yes.
are crazy. It's like Starbucks
Yes.
times 2
Yes.
at Dunkin' Donuts in
Yeah.
Michigan.
And there's no line at Krispy Kreme in other states.
Yeah, and here, good luck.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's crazy.
Florida's the same way. You can go to Florida and Dunkin' Donuts, there'll be lines. You go to Krispy Kreme, there'll be 2 or 3 cars. It's weird.
How come more donut places haven't stolen Krispy Kreme's strategy of just making the best donut on the planet?
I don't know, but I think it's pretty good. Vic says a crack donut.
The crack donut.
What's a crack donut?
I mean, it's like
Full-
it's like a pre-workout. Like get y'all like
yes. Where do I get that?
Krispy Kreme.
Before my Ameristar show tomorrow night, I'm going to get a crack donut.
Yeah, but then you'll crash hard too.
I'll take another one.
People are
Fast
talking
as you
about
go
all their
up, as
donuts.
fast
You know,
as come down.
I need to come see you, Eric. You said you're in town this weekend.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ameristar, bottleneck.
You've never seen
Right.
Platinum Rock Legends?
I have not.
Oh, my Lord.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Oh, my
No.
God.
I do have
That's
2 small
awesome.
children. You have to
No.
understand. When I go out, I
Well,
go
don't
close
bring
to the
them.
house.
Do
Don't
No.
wreck
yourself a favor and don't bring them.
Don't wreck it. I would stay the PRL virgin as long as you could. Just take it all the way home. Maybe come to the farewell show.
All right.
No, I mean, you're more than invited to come. But I wouldn't wreck your perfect record. That's what I'm saying. Krispy Kreme it is. Crack donuts all weekend long.
I know. I think he didn't even eat one, but he's in a daze over there from talking about donuts.
No, he is. He is.
No, it's because I'm taking care.
You
I
can't
do
eat-
a lot of stuff. That's why.
Vic can't even talk about carbohydrates without going into some kind of shock.
I know.
Seriously.
No, because I love them.
I know.
No, I got to stay away from 'em if I could just be better.
Just
At one
be
point, one point in time, I cut the carbs and I lost 30 pounds in about 45 days. I
Yeah.
switched my whole diet and lost 30
Right.
pounds.
Now are you back on it,
I
or
was
are you
40
stick,
I
or just
was-
like I'm done?
That was 9 years ago when I did that, or
Yeah.
8 years ago, and it was
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah.
And people thought I was sick or was going through.
People think
treatment,
losing weight
and-
is a huge ordeal, and it does not have to be. It does not have to be.
Okay, so what's your favorite donut then? Style.
I'm just gonna go. We're done with this conversation because I think unlike yesterday where I had to hear about Emo's Pizza not being the best pizza on the planet.
Now listen, as much as
That's done today.
as much
Today
as I
it's
hate,
easy.
I hate Schnucks for what they did, not accepting my check when I was in a time of need, despite me being one of the all-time high money producers for that company in regards to paying money. Their donuts are amazing.
They're good.
I loved the donuts there.
Heaven Sent, for a nice little Sunday with your mom coming into town or something, you can go to Heaven Sent over on Bryan Road. That's okay. But man, when the light's on over, I'm done with this.
I mean, just
I'm
the donut.
literally-
Like I like old fashions.
Oh, you're talking about the style.
Yeah. Like Long John. Do you like just plain glazed?
Why do we have to do this on a Friday? Now my mind is just going into so many different directions.
Well, of course
We
it
don't have
is.
to do anything.
I mean, I can break this down, but it's going to take an hour.
Well, Eric, let's switch it then. What's the best day to go to happy hour?
The best day to go to happy hour?
Yeah.
Wednesday, hump day.
Well, a lot of people think it's Friday.
I mean, it's the kickoff to the weekend.
In a
but
new poll, people were asked what the best day to hit a happy hour is.
Yeah.
Number one answer with 18% of the vote was Tuesday. Number one
It's
happy
too
hour.
early in the week.
But guess what was a close second?
What?
Friday, 17%.
I think the Friday happy hour is the tailgate to the weekend, if you want my opinion. It just kicks off the weekend.
Well, yeah. Well, that's Friday Eve on Thursday.
I think Wednesday feels more like, you know what, we're halfway through. Let's go have a cocktail.
Dear God, the best donuts. Everybody's talking about donuts now and happy hours.
Okay, we didn't mean to do
or
this.
as your boy Johnny Depp, isn't happy hour anytime?
With a mega pint.
By the way, did you hear what Greg Jarrett said? Greg Jarrett, Fox News analyst, about that whole case?
No.
Oh, my God. You got to hear this quote. First of all, he said it's not over. He's like, they both hate each other so much. Now the word is they're going to just go back and forth. They're using the legal system for publicity. They're going to go back and forth and appeal. Apparently, she's going to be appealing as what we thought would be the case. And then Greg Jarrett, I'm trying to pull up his quote right now. I wasn't expecting to go there, but here's what Greg Jarrett said, the Fox News legal analyst. Quote, they both destroyed each other. They came across as miserable, insufferable, and vindictive people who hated each other so much that they decided to exploit the justice system to exact revenge. He says Depp may have won financially in his defamation trial against ex-wife Amber Heard, but it came at an enormous cost. I disagree, or
I
disagrees.
disagree.
And that it's far from over.
I look at Johnny Depp. Is there anyone in this room that, excuse me, doesn't look at Johnny Depp the same way you might look at an Axl Rose, a Vince Neil, a rock star, someone that you know throws TVs out of the hotel room, that does cocaine, that parties like a rock star? You don't look at Johnny Depp like you might look at a Marlon Brando or you might look at a Tom Cruise. He's a rock star. That's what he does. He dresses like a rock star. He's not going to hurt his image by being told how his lifestyle is. He won this. Greg Jarrett, I think, is a fantastic analyst.
He really is, and he was in court the entire time. He was just upset. He said that they're both kind of bad people, and it's what it is.
Again,
and that they're just using it to make money and publicity.
Is Nikki Sixx a good person? No, he almost died taking heroin. If this was to happen to Nikki Sixx, it would have made his career bigger in Motley Crue.
That's the other.
Tommy Lee was.
He was just focusing on it from a legal standpoint.
Okay, fine. He didn't do. Johnny Depp won this thing. Look, the money was gravy. The money was just the icing on the cake. It was like, oh my God, I got $15 million that I'll never collect. That's cool. Anyway, I won this battle. So Greg is wrong. And you know what? It's if Amber Heard is stupid enough to come and appeal this thing, that's just money down the drain because you got to pay the lawyers.
Right, more legal fees.
You don't have to pay Johnny Depp, but you got to pay the lawyers. So she would be the one that loses. Yeah. Johnny be like, bring it. What else do you got?
You would think so, wouldn't you? Absolutely, you would. In the midst, and we'll get into it, this is another thing that just bums me out. In the midst of the president's speech last night on possible gun control, gun reform, a major story went, I want to say under the radar. If we're going to talk about protecting our kids, the number one thing you have to start doing, why don't you look at all the sex trafficking that's going on? If we're talking about truly protecting kids, a major operation called Operation Lost Souls was not even spoken last night about by the president or by any of these national congressmen. Over 70 kids were rescued throughout the Texas area. Go figure, Texas. And it all came out yesterday, right at the same time the president was speaking. I'm like, wait a second, we're talking about a gun. This needs to be national news. You're talking about several organizations coming together to save these kids. I mean, multiple agencies to save 70 kids who are being sex trafficked all over the place, including a 15-year-old girl who disappeared while she was at the Dallas Mavericks game with her dad and found in a hotel 10 days later being trafficked. And nobody wants to talk about this in Hollywood. Nobody wants to talk about this with the elites. Nobody of these actors, these singers, everybody, the politicians. Where is the outcry for these kids who are being trafficked? Where's the outcry for these kids who are being abused? If we truly want to, quote, protect kids, and this kind of gets into the speech last night, number one, you're going to protect them at school. The Columbine report and the other two other school shootings after found the way we could have helped is having the school be more secure and safe, which included police, yet we haven't done that. And then we haven't focused on the sex trafficking of kids because why? I have no idea. This is a major issue that largely went under the radar, and parts of me and my conspiracy part of me of being a journalist where you're supposed to question everything goes, wait a second. This news is coming out now, and we're going to talk about all of this crazy with Republicans and Democrats lying at each other and certain politicians saying we don't need the Supreme Court. We don't need, and we'll get into that, the Constitution. We're going to do our own stuff. We're going to make our own stuff up now.
Yes.
Think about this. Why isn't there the same vitriol for kids who are being trafficked? And then when you do bring it to light, still talked about over and over and over again. It's not. That frustrates me, especially as a dad.
And the trafficking is only one part of it. It's like, you're making reference to his speech last night.
Yeah, Pete Worley says the elite politicians are the ones that are getting the kids, which is sick and sad. Oh, Joe Patterson, what about the Ghislaine Maxwell story, Crickets? She was convicted of helping these traffickers, yet not one other trafficker has been brought to justice.
No.
These are the stories that need to be brought national. Yeah. Where are the Republicans and Democrats talking about that on a national scale?
I think so.
Not.
You're right. So there's only one outlet that I know of that's really into this stuff, and that's Fox News, the only cable outlet anyway. So you only have so many stories you can pick from. So what do you have to do if you are Fox News?
Fox News isn't hitting it hard
I know,
either.
But you have to, basically the story is the gun, the legislation trying to outlaw the Second Amendment. You can only focus on that. You cannot go down these deep dive stories on cable news about child trafficking without, you just can't.
Yeah, you can. When you have an Operation Lost Souls that is successful.
It's a huge story. I agree with you.
Then that needs to be, that's not a deep, that's right there. It is done.
Yeah. But is anybody going to listen to that story, or that there's 100,000 people that died of fentanyl coming over the border?
That either.
Or are there going to be any stories of grandparents and little kids getting shot in Chicago, which to me is a way bigger story than trying to, outlaw assault weapons. But unfortunately, these news organizations, they play the hands that are dealt to them. Oh, look,
Gordon says because they're all in bed with the situation, you can't talk about these trafficked and the sex minors, the minors with the sex with minors situation if you're closely associated with it.
It's disgusting.
Or if
You're
you
right.
have friends who are associated with it or trafficking other people. Robert says the negative bloodlines. I mean, it's interesting. But then that's going on at the same time that you have the whole gun debate going on yesterday. And of course, we've talked about the president. We appreciate you jumping in on the Facebook line, 100.7 The Viper. You can share the show. You can also give us a call if you want, 636-695-2915, 636-695-2915. We broke down what was happening from a standpoint with the president's speech. Well, a media company called Mediaite released a poll yesterday. The majority of Americans say that teachers should be allowed to carry guns.
Yes.
And even half of the Democrats polled said they want more guns in schools somehow, some way, even if it's not teachers. But the one thing that hasn't been done in a lot of the cases was the fact that you haven't put more, quote, security in schools, despite all of the school shootings that you want to refer to, and they're all gun-free zones. And how many times have we heard of, quote, people with bad intentions, mass shooters, going to police stations to do their shooting, going to military bases or fire range or gun ranges because they know people have guns.
Yes.
It is a deterrent. I'm sorry. I wish that we would have spoken about that in a speech last night.
I want to tell a story. So 1 year ago today, I was playing at this place called Shady Gators. No one.
They're still open?
Hell yeah, and it was rocking like a bitch. No one had a gun in the security department last year. There were no metal detectors to get into Shady Gators. There's this other place called Lazy Gators. It's all hip hop. Okay? So it is what it is. 1 year ago today, some cat walks in there. The second time, there was a first shooting, but the second shooting, 2 people, I believe, died. Okay? The people were like, I'm done. I'm not going to Shady Gators anymore because there's no deterrent for these people. And guess what? The owners of a private company, you know what they did? They put 4 metal detectors in. They licensed the police to come in there with their weaponry. I counted at least a dozen cops, badged cops. On top of the badged cops, they had a security force. I can't remember their name, but I saw the logo of probably another dozen armed security guys just meandering around. It was so safe. There were no fights. It was crazy, but it was everyone had a deterrent to not to bring deadly weaponry to this facility. Step ahead to Joe Biden's speech. Why in the hell couldn't you take that same principle, like Vic is saying, and move it right over to Wentzville School District, Francis Howell School District, Parkway Central School District? And it is what it is. It's the new era that we live in. It's metal detectors, and it's people that are showing weaponry on their side, saying, you come here, you're probably going to go down before you take anyone out.
Yeah.
There's your deterrent. Locking all the doors so that you push out. You can push out on a door, but you cannot pull the door open. There's deterrent number 2. How did we just fix that problem nationally within 5 minutes on this show? Why wasn't that the speech? Why didn't I, or not me, but why didn't somebody else give that speech?
Well, if they fix all the problems, they don't have anything to run on, right? Like, I hate to say that, but it's what it seems like sometimes.
Well, then that's a news story.
It seems like
then
they
that's a news
prolong
story.
things and push it, and, you know, but this isn't a convenient topic for them.
Republicans need to make this a convenient topic. Republicans need to be like,
They did yesterday. What are you talking about?
Are you talking about the congressional
Wait a
hearings
second.
that they
Republicans need to make what?
They need to run on this thing strong and not pussyfoot around with it
What,
and be
on what?
on one side. Say, no, we're not messing with the Second Amendment. That's what this is all about.
I think most of them are. Most Republicans are. But they have to be very careful because Americans are very emotional. And when you see something that happened like it did, despite the school's fault, despite the police's fault, the police fault in that whole thing, because we've already seen the shooting should have never happened if everything would have been done perfect. It never would have happened had they actually followed a plan and gotten. When a guy's shooting up a school for 10 minutes, how does that guy even get into a school?
That's just.
Thank you.
You're
Not
right.
one life should have been lost. Follow the effing protocol, and you don't have the issue. Number 1. Number 2, I do think Republicans are trying to battle it, but they have to be careful because when 19 kids are killed and 2 teachers, like they were, despite the school's problems, despite the police's fault, despite that police chief still refusing to cooperate with police, despite the lies,
Oh, I hate that.
despite a door being left unlocked for the first time ever, despite all of those things, yes, I still think Republicans are trying to fight for the Second Amendment, whether you like that or not.
I fight for the Second Amendment is fine, Vic, but you're going to have some weak-kneed Republicans going, okay, background checks, that's fine. Okay, raise the age, that's fine. You're going to have these weak-kneed Republicans that don't stand up and go, first, if you want to have a discussion about taking out the Second Amendment, let's talk for real about the problems that are on top of this country. It's not about legal-minded. If there's a car wreck that takes someone out on Highway 70, the federal government does not come out and say, we need to ban cars. We're done. Sorry. Yeah, the highways, we're going to just destroy them all because people are dying on the highways, right? Even people that drink and drive and take out families in minivans, we don't have these discussions about that. Human beings are the afflictors on this. This is not a gun problem. What if he took out this entire school classroom with a hammer, with a sledgehammer? I know maybe he didn't get 19, but he could get a few. Are now sledgehammers illegal to purchase at Home Depot? So the Democrats are winning this communication battle. They just are. I'm sorry. They're getting it into the public. They're very emotional about it, but Republicans should just stand back and go, this is a human problem. Are you going to ban humans? So I think that we fixed the problem. I really do. Harden the soft targets, and we'll go from there, correct? Yeah. And if you are mentally ill, you're not getting a gun.
That's an
If
easy
you're
one.
mentally ill, sorry,
Right.
you're not getting a gun, period.
So the NRA came out with a statement last night after it, and at the very end, they said that all that the president repeatedly proposes will only infringe on the rights of those law-abiding who have never and will never commit a crime. This isn't a real solution. It isn't true leadership, and it isn't what America needs. What a shame.
It's a shame.
Well, we'll explain some
because
of the things
passion,
that
the passion that Biden put behind. Love to hear what Vic and Chris have to say about this. But the passion, the madness that he put behind this gun thing. Where's his speech about inflation?
Bingo.
Where's his speech
Tonight
about
should be
all
the
of
second.
this? Yes.
Or Monday
Tonight
should be the
yes.
inflation. But but his administration still says it's not his fault or his administration's
It is, and
fault.
he knows it is. Janet Yellen came out.
We just got to be fair, and we know that.
What's not fair about that? Let's talk about fuel prices. I'm the president of the United States.
Don says if we just paint our rifles with rainbow colors, that the gun bait will just stop. Okay. Should the juvenile records be available for background checks for people under 21? From Paul. Very good point. Jeannie, you can't even get into our parking lot at the high school without telling the cop sitting at the entry what you're there for. Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
Where's that at?
Yeah, there's all kinds of things you can do, but we're not putting the money into protecting the schools. And then everybody can debate why, which is sad. And we all know that bad guys are going to find ways to do things.
I think all school districts
Drugs
across the
still
country.
come into the country, even though they're not supposed to, and they're legal. So would firearms.
100,000 people are dead because of fentanyl, because of the Mexican border. Boom.
Criminals will find a way.
I think every school in the country, if you want to participate in being a public school, you have to have an initiative to what happens if there is a shooting that's on your, and you have to submit that.
Let us know what you guys want to talk about. Jumping on Facebook, 100.7 The Viper. We'll come back. We have like 30 minutes left. We'll try to get into some of these quotes in the comments that were said yesterday. What the president said that was fact-checked and actually not to be true. Very interesting. And anything else that's going on. It's a Friday. The weather's great. Hope you have good plans for the weekend. Eric Johnson's here. Chris Knight, Krista Cooper. I'm Vic Faust of Fox 2. Back with more right after this.
The Edge Morning Show is coming right back.
Keep your resolution to quit cigarettes this time. Go to I Quit Vapor, 852 Bryan Road, O'Fallon. I Quit Vapor carries the salt nicotine systems, their latest juice flavors, and all of their pod systems. Let their staff explain why the salt nicotine system is so effective in helping you to quit cigarettes for good. It has a much smoother delivery and allows you to adjust the amount of nicotine intake. I Quit Vapor is still your one-stop shop for everything vapor. Keep your quit cigarette resolution this time. Go to I Quit Vapor, 852 Bryan Road, O'Fallon.
Spectrum Glass is known for their quality work on windshields, but they do so much more. Spectrum Glass also specializes in residential, commercial, and automotive window tinting. Reduce the heat, reduce the fading, and increase your comfort with professional window tinting from Spectrum Glass. Serving St. Charles and surrounding counties since 1995, Spectrum Glass is still your premier company for windshield replacement. And with free mobile service, they come to you. 636-294-1800 on Facebook and SpectrumGlassOnline.com.
Hey, it's Shanny from Mascots Bar and Grill, and I'll tell you what, if you're looking for a place to watch the game with friends, Cardinals, Blues, whatever, it's Mascots Bar and Grill. If you're looking for a place for happy hour, it's Mascots Bar and Grill. Heck, grab some friends, get a table, and play rock and roll bingo every night and twice on Saturdays at Mascots Bar and Grill. You can win some great prizes. Seriously, great prizes at Mascots for playing rock and roll bingo. And it's absolutely free to play. Wednesday night is ladies' night, and you won't believe the specials they have going on there. Come by for lunch. They're the home of the legendary lunch special. You go tell them you're FOS, you're a friend of Shanny's, and you want that big old burger and fries for just $5, and they're going to give it to you fresh and hot, just the way you ordered it, and it's so delicious, and you don't have to do the dishes. If you go once, you will go again and again. Mascot's Bar and Grill, home of the legendary lunch special.
Every 40 seconds, someone in the United States has a stroke. Strokes are the leading cause of death and serious disability nationwide and around the world, but it doesn't have to be. Knowing the signs and symptoms of a stroke and taking quick action by calling 911 to get to a hospital like Barnes Jewish St. Peter's or Progress West for fast, accurate treatments is critical. Learn more about strokes and see if you're at risk by visiting bjc.org/stroke. That's bjc.org/stroke.
KFC knows that when it comes to sharing, there's good and there's finger-licking good.
A meal with sides, that's good. 3 equally delicious sides? So even if one kid loves mac and cheese, another only eats mashed potatoes, and the third is basically 90% French fry, there'll still be no complaints besides why bedtime can't be midnight and ice cream isn't a breakfast food? That's finger-licking good.
KFC Sides Lovers Meal. Pick 3 large sides and pair them with 8 crispy tenders or your favorite fried chicken. Order now on the KFC app. Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's finger-licking good.
Prices and product availability may vary.
Do you want the best for your car? Then fill up with Premium at Circle K. Circle K Premium is our best fuel with double the cleaning detergent, protecting your engine from corrosion and damage so it can work at its best. And that, my friend, increases your mileage for more cha-ching in your pocket. Plus, when you fill up with Premium at Circle K, you can save up to 20 cents per gallon. Offer valid Thursdays or Fridays at participating stores. For details, visit CircleK.com. Circle K. How convenient.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $700 on average, and those savings add up. Imagine what you could buy in the future.
The graphics are so real on this video game console I bought with the savings from switching to Progressive 10 years ago. I can't tell what's real and what's the game, which I think is what people want. You know, in the future, which it is currently.
So switch to Progressive and save big, because those savings can add up in the future. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National annual average insurance savings by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive in 2020. Potential savings will vary.
Now, back to the Edge Morning Show.
Welcome back to the show. It is The Edge, fastest 2 hours of morning talk radio. If you don't believe it, stick with us for a week. You'll be like, damn, that went by fast. Hopefully it's good. Eric Johnson's here, Chris Knight, Krista Cooper, and Vic Faust of Fox 2. It's Friday, June 3rd. Hope you guys are going to have a great weekend. The weather's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
We don't have tons of humidity either, and we got highs in the 80s. The sun is shining. Those are the good things. Obviously, a lot of the bad things, the stories that happen that we have to deal with, you know, you have to go ahead and deal with it. Somebody's talking about, is there a classic car cruise in Wentzville tonight? I don't know. People are talking about that on the line.
I feel like I should know that.
We'll try to get to it next week. Iran's attempted terrorist cyber attack on Boston's Children's Hospital last June. Cops actually walked the streets during events in Wentzville. Gordon says it's amazing how Facebook will flag my post against the Democratic Party, but they won't notify the authorities of kids with guns and mentally disturbing posts. Absolutely, especially when you knew for weeks about the Texas shooter as well.
Boy, you put anything on about LGBTQ plus, and you are gone from Facebook. But man, you have a gun pointing at the lens.
I'm telling you that this is not a free country in many ways. We've already talked about it several times. It's not. When you look at freedom of speech and your amendment rights, and then you have people like this guy, Representative Mondaire Jones from New York, who's trying to make a name for himself, who thinks he's above the law. And that's the problem. You get too many people who start to think they're above the law, and the job of service isn't about constituents. It's about them. It's about, and if they're being paid by certain groups. Mondaire Jones, quote, yesterday in Congress, "You will not stop us from passing gun control. If the filibuster obstructs us, we will abolish it." Damn. If the Supreme Court objects, we will expand. We will not rest until we've taken weapons of war out of our communities.
Yes.
Once again, this is when I talk about, oh yeah, weapons. We don't want weapons in the community. Yeah, of course we don't. But you're just gonna you think you're so special that you're gonna bypass everything that this country was set up on, because in this day and age, we've already said it's the me disease, and we're told you don't have to worry about laws, you don't have to worry about guidelines, you don't have to worry about structure. You be you, you do you, and all this other crap that's out there that takes away, as we heard from Democratic candidate Jane Duker talking about earlier, when you start to tell people that laws aren't important, or these laws don't mean anything, or you don't have to follow rules or laws, you have problems. But this guy Mondaire Jones, I think
you got it.
Mondaire.
Nailed it.
That's a problem. Gordon on that says this is how it all started in Germany under Hitler and every other dictator, Fidel Castro in Cuba, guns taken away, everything, and then boom, before too long, you don't have a way to protect yourself. Many people coming out last night, we talked about this earlier, the states with the most restrictive gun laws, specifically California, has the most active shooter incidents last year.
Yeah.
California with the most restrictive gun laws. So that won't make a difference.
Yeah.
Then you had it yesterday. Representative Sheila Jackson Lee called out Representative Greg Steube from Florida because he showed his gun that would be banned under a handgun.
What was it, a Glock?
Because it had a high capacity.
It was a standard capacity, 15 rounds.
15 rounds. But he's like, this, look, and he showed it. He demonstrated. And Sheila Jackson Lee had the audacity to say, I hope that gun isn't loaded.
He's like, screw you, it is loaded.
I'm at
in
my house. Yeah, I can do what I want with my guns. I mean, this is the kind of crazy stuff that's going on all around the country. Another quote. If it was about protecting children, you wouldn't have disregarded the security recommendations, President, from MSD and Sandy Hook commissions when you said that you're not going to push to increase school security. Another major issue. How about this one? The president said we should repeal the liability shield that often protects gun manufacturers from being sued for the death and destruction caused by their weapons. That's what the president said last night. Actually, in the fact check, it was false because firearm manufacturers are no more shielded from liability than any other manufacturers for liability from defective products.
Right.
But guess who isn't? Big Pharma. Big Pharma is shielded.
Man, Vic is playing the high heat tonight.
No, I'm just when
it is.
Break it. You just got to break it down.
I know, but you don't put the two and two together all the time.
Right.
So,
wow.
With that being said, no, they are. They really, really are good points. And it's like, it's easy to get all emotional. And yes, I know. Have some intellect. Be intellectually honest and take the time and be responsible and not reckless. As Americans, far too often, we're reckless. We're not responsible when it comes to these issues. And we just spout off whatever's easy.
So these little Democrats bring us down these paths, and we have to go fight down their little path. And Republicans always take the bait. They always take the bait. Okay? These things happen all the time. They don't happen on camera. And this incident in Texas, it's odd. It's just weird. It's like it wasn't handled properly on any level whatsoever.
But it's still the gun's fault.
It's the gun's fault. So we have to have, at that moment, we have to have some very interesting coincidences happen in our A meeting in that town. You have, you just have so many things that I think the Democrats are just insanely good about inventing or capitalizing on these shady things all the time. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like the abortion debate. They somehow have a leaked document in the year that they're about to get their asses handed to them in the elections, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they parlay that into some kind of momentum. And the discussion becomes then what they want to talk about. And the Republicans have to take the bait. It's like, oh, my God, now we got to talk about women's productive
some
rights.
of them are intelligent, but some are not. And I've dealt with many of them. The problem is there aren't a lot of really good, solid people who want to get into public service, especially in this day and age.
Well, yeah, it's a thankless job.
It's a thankless job, which is why you have people like this Mondaire Johnson or Jackson from New York, whoever the hell he is, trying to make a name for himself,
He's a congressman.
who is completely uneducated, yet he has ascended to a position because he clearly represents constituents who are uneducated themselves, as we know, to vote the uneducated. Because uneducated will continue to vote uneducated into positions of power to represent
St.
them
Louis
with no
is a
help.
great
inside.
example.
Well, I'm not
Cori
saying
Bush.
that. You're saying that. That's not me.
I was going to say AOC.
You said
AOC
those
is
are not
another
my
one.
words.
AOC is like the prime example of somebody who is unintelligent but just went for
Wait a
it.
minute. Vic, what do you have a problem with saying Cori Bush? She wants to defund the cops in St. Louis, Missouri. The cops are needed
If you're
desperately in
you
St.
have to
Louis.
do. We talk
Missouri.
about silos. That specific issue, she's been called out on all across the country, even the president. She ripped Biden because Biden said we need more police.
Yes. Before Biden saying, no, we need to take funding away from the police. Biden didn't even know that, but Corey just stayed on that track.
Ooh, wow. From Rob. From 1999 to 2018, I can't verify it, but I trust you. The pharmaceutical company spent $4.7 billion lobbying the U.S. federal government, which is why they are shielded and protected from those situations where gun manufacturers are not shielded and protected, despite the president saying that last night.
I can't imagine that's accurate. If the weapon works properly, right? If it works properly and it's legal to sell said weapon, the only way that you could sue somebody is if it backfires and blows someone's hand off or something like that. But if the weapon is working the way it's supposed to be, I'm not sure how a gun manufacturer is liable for someone else using that weapon to kill somebody.
Right.
I don't see how that's possible.
No, Vic, you
can
can't see it, but as you were talking about the pharmaceutical stuff, over your shoulder, it says teenage overdose death rates are rising.
Yeah, we're not even talking about that.
Kind of, sort of are, though.
I mean, it said in 2019 it was like 37,000. Now it's 71,000.
Eric, you already said it.
It's
There's
a
so many other
mismatch.
major issues going on, but now the only thing all over is guns, because we went straight from abortion to guns, and inflation is a monster.
That's right.
That doesn't mean it's more important. It just means we're dealing with it every day, and every single American is affected by this. Where is our press conference on inflation?
Can't wait. I'll get a beer.
Friend of mine said their daughter had rent of $2,200 in Austin, Texas. We're just informed it's gone up to $4,000 a month. They have no place to stay. Now, hey, you can say, oh, that's first world problem, whatever, blah, blah, blah. That is just one little example for me to try to move. Paying a ton more money for less than what I have now because of where we are in our society.
Right.
Gas this morning, $4.59 a gallon in St. Charles County.
Unbelievable.
The national average, the highest. It continues to go up. The president says, well, I didn't know we had a baby shortage in the last 2 months. I mean, you cannot get lost, and just the national media, once again, don't get caught up in the headlines. The headlines are trying to steer you this way. Be intelligent and educate those around you. I always said be persistent, but be polite, because if you're that guy who shows up that's loud and wearing crazy clothes and edit, your message, while it may be 100% correct,
Gets muddled.
will not be accepted because of who the guy
True.
is that's delivering the message.
And that's why I'll never run for office. I'm okay with that.
Once again, the outrage on all of these things going on. Oh my God, it's over $5 in Michigan.
Oh,
So,
$8 in LA.
Let's just talk about inflation for a second. Let's talk about Joe Biden, and let's just talk about the fact that everyone in this, we all have I talk to very smart accountants, people who are accountants. Maybe it's not Jamie Dimon, maybe it's not the Fed chair, but these are people that understand numbers and how they work. Here, let me tell you something. Diesel fuel is really a major contributor to inflation. It is. At What was it that I showed you the other day, Vic? Diesel fuel in California, where a lot of these products come from. You have to literally drive across California to get to your destination. That drive starts with a fuel charge of $6 a gallon. Period. When you put that thing in your truck and you're about ready to drive off, you now went from an $800 bill to a $2,500 bill, right?
Correct.
That's inflation. Now multiply that over how many trucks come out of there.
Which is also a tax.
Exactly. Now multiply that, and here's where exponential numbers start to really get to you. Multiply that number over the amount of trucks coming out of California. So what was 800 is now 2,500 times X. There's the beginning of your inflation. So what do you do if you're Biden? You're saying Joe Biden comes out and he says, I know we had this green initiative. We're going to table that for right now. Here is a directive to all independent oil producers. Go crazy, people. And then all of a sudden right there, that's when the Rocky theme song starts. And then Joe Biden starts jogging down and says, we're going to take care of this problem. And you get oil prices to come down first. That's the first thing you do. You then are going to have to go to the Fed, and you're going to have to raise interest rates. I'm afraid you're just going to have to do that. And this is all stuff that no one in this room understands. But quantitative easing, that's about to stop. The pressures on society that were to bring down a depression or recession are not going away. So this is going to be a real. Jamie Dimon's right. You haven't seen anything yet.
And then Forbes came out yesterday.
You haven't seen nothing yet.
Forbes came out yesterday and said the same thing. He says if the Fed is telling us, oh, it's going to be a soft landing, he's like, expect it to be a hurricane.
We don't know if it's going to be a small hurricane or a big hurricane, but don't walk outside with an umbrella.
No, I'm very concerned because I've seen so much of it now, and it's like, oh man, everything's connecting. The dots are connecting, but we're not covering. You're not going to get the full story on national news. You're just not. Yeah. And like I've said, local news doesn't cover it. Mm-hmm. There's just not enough time, which is sad and unfortunate, but it's a reality. And that's why people have to take control of their own situations to make sure that they're not caught up with everything that's going on, unfortunately.
And Biden can't do what, regardless, every time you hear him say he can't do anything about inflation, he's lying to you. Mm-hmm. He can do things. There are arrows in his quiver that he can pull and start shooting. Right. And guess what? You don't go to your vacation home on a weekend for a 3-day weekend when there's these kind of problems happening in the country. This is going to be a bloodbath in November. I just don't know how many seats they're going to win. Is it going to be? We should put it on the board and take bets, but it's going to be brutal. And you'll never see Nancy Pelosi again. She'll retire in November 3rd.
Another issue the president did not talk about last night when it talks about gun control that I think is important too, and this was brought up to me yesterday, and it's a fact. How can the president or anybody lecture anyone in this country on gun control, at least from the federal government standpoint, when we left 300,000 guns in Afghanistan for the Taliban?
Yeah.
Think about that.
I know.
That's disgusting.
Tanks, guns, ammunition for the Taliban. We gave them guns because we left them all for the gun. And then say, we want to take guns away from everybody here, too. Yes. Just think about it. Just almost think about it.
Yeah. We gave guns to the Taliban to repress the good people of Afghanistan. But you can't have a gun in St. Louis County because you might go shoot somebody in the face in a school, which probably is not going to happen. Something is...
Why won't they come out with the stat of like
shady.
all these massive shootings? How many of these people did everything lawfully? Because that's the point they're trying to make, is that if we do all these things, then it'll stop. But that's not how these people acquired the things to do these nasty things.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I would love to think that we could do something to change this. I don't want another life to be lost like that.
There is. It's called voting.
But I mean, really,
Jane Duker
I really feel
is
like
a good example. Jane's a very level-headed person.
But there's still evil. There's still going to be evil that breaks through.
Well, that's always going to happen. That's
Yes.
always going to be. It's been there since the beginning of time.
But they act like we can just write a law and it's going to fix it. And I hate to be devil's advocate, but I don't think it's that easy.
Everything that the Democrats have tried to touch in the last 20 years has been garbage. Obamacare. I mean, it's the most expensive insurance out there. It's ridiculous. It's crazy.
And what you're saying is true. If anybody, this isn't you ripping Obamacare, President. This is a fact.
No, it's just the economics behind it. I would love it to work.
They don't.
If it was $10 a month.
Yeah, it doesn't. And all the studies show that it doesn't, which is unfortunate.
But they don't know what they're doing. It's like they don't have reasonable accountants. They don't have reasonable policymakers. They have youth and their numbers are changing. There's some people that think that Biden's approval rating for real is in the teens. That these are made up numbers. That these are inflated numbers. Has there ever been a president with approval rating in the teens?
No.
Robert Peterbaugh again. He's like, also square this up. We're giving guns to citizens of Ukraine, and you can't just say, well, because they're being invaded. Well, what if it happened here in the United States? Who's going to give us guns? Who's going to give the people guns to fight? Man, lot going on. A lot going on. Plus the $40 million with no strategic interest, yet we're refusing to protect the schools because if all the money and the security went to protecting the schools, maybe that might eliminate the problem. And then what are you going to talk about? Just another point. It's a Friday. It's 9:52. It's June 3rd. We're almost out of here. We got one more break. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We'll set the stage for your weekend right after this.
Grab your coffee. The Morning Edge will be right back on 100.7 The Viper.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
If you owe the IRS back taxes, then get ready to pay up. The IRS has giant private collection agencies actively tracking down folks who owe the IRS. So if you think dodging them was stressful in the past, it's going to get a whole lot tougher. Optima Tax Relief has this advice. Don't wait. Solve your tax problems now before it's too late. Optima Tax Relief works to stop the demand letters, stop the aggressive collection actions, and stop the IRS collectors from targeting you. Ask Optima about the Fresh Start Initiative, one of the biggest breaks the IRS has ever offered. If you qualify, you could save thousands, and nobody knows this program better than they do. Optima is A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau, and they get results, having resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Get a fresh start. Call today for your free consultation.
Call 800-624-7544. 800-624-7544. 800-624-7544.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
KFC knows that when it comes to chicken sandwiches, there's good and there's finger-licking good.
A chicken sandwich? That's good. A 100% white meat KFC chicken sandwich so delicious it forces you to rethink everything you know about sandwiches, including whether or not they even need buns, but then you remember how good a brioche bun can be and then having to rethink your rethinking? That's finger-licking good.
KFC's chicken sandwich, always served hot and crispy in your choice of classic or spicy. Order now on the KFC app. Kentucky Fried Chicken, that's finger-licking good.
Prices and product availability may vary.
If you are having a bad day at work, I can help. Hi, this is Curtis Barks with Complete Auto Body and Repair. We just expanded to Cottleville and St. Peters and are looking for qualified automotive and auto body technicians that would want to work in a climate-controlled environment. That's right, we offer a fully climate-controlled, air-conditioned and heated facility in both Cottleville and St. Peters. Visit us at CompleteAB.com. If it's not perfect, it's not complete. Others can't compete with Complete Auto Body.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He fixes cars.
My daughter used to be a shining star. I would tell her, there's nothing you can't do. Now, it's like living with a stranger. It happens so fast. Center Point Hospital, real help for addiction and hope
for a bright future. If a young person dear to you is facing substance use, the Changing Point at Centerpoint Hospital now offers adolescent treatment solutions with detox, 4-week residential, and outpatient treatment. The Changing Point for Adolescents at Centerpoint Hospital. Hope for a bright future.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon. Cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Some months I make $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code FALL for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your next fill-up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code FALL for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FALL.
Hi, this is Dr. Erin Huey with Tomasino Gerst Vision Source. We provide a ton of specialty care: glaucoma, diabetic eye care, dry eye evaluations, now myopia management. Typically, we see patients that need vision correction for a variety of hobbies, for work, most often glasses and contacts. Come and see us at Tomasino Gerst Vision Source, dryoureyes.com, 272-1444, dryoureyes.com.
Here comes more of the Edge Morning Show.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Thanks for joining us again. Another great week of shows. We'll be back Monday as we normally are, 8 to 10 a.m. Eric, you guys played anywhere this weekend?
The Maristar Casino tomorrow night.
And you sent us pictures last night of robots instead of servers.
Yeah.
That was interesting.
So the Maristar is going to be a robot serving facility. I've always wondered where the first one would be that I would see it. I can't wait. It'll bump into your table and knock your drinks over.
They're using robots. Sorry.
You don't have to tip the robot, though, right?
Malfunction.
You don't have to tip the robot. That's a good point.
Yeah, you don't.
Yeah, I can't wait.
But nobody wants to do the serving. Well, there are people who do, but there are problems with that. That damn robot will probably show up every day, too, one time.
It will. They'll just demand oil for its wheels.
Yeah.
It'll form a union.
Thanks, guys. Eric Johnson, Chris Snow, Chris Cooper, and Vic Faust of Fox 2. Have an awesome day. I'll see you on Fox 2 News at 5 and 9. I'm not wearing a tie, Chris. I'll be wearing a Fox 2 shirt.
There you go.
Because I'm out at the
Laid
track.
back. Laid back.
I'll be out at Worldwide Technology Raceway doing live
Got
reports.
his money on his mind and his mind on his money.
That's right. Have a great weekend.
Bye.